Welcome to another exciting David Pollack show. Today, we are talking about Russia. That's right, you didn't think Biden would go quietly into the night. No, now he's approving long-range missiles, U.S. missiles, for use by Ukraine, sending them into Russia, and we're talking about that tonight. Plus, the left keeps losing their minds. The president keeps making spectacular picks, and we're talking about all of that tonight. Don't go anywhere.
Squeeze, struggling with the cost of everything from gas.
How do you feel about the economy? Raising interest rates.
Iran's most intense strike ever against Israel.
Get up, puppet.
What, Dave? What?
We got work to do.
Puppet Carlson reporting for duty. I'm driving, Dave.
You're not driving.
I am driving, Dave. I'm in the Cybertruck.
Come on. I'm gonna regret this. All right, I don't know about this. Are you sure you want to try to drive?
Dave, Elon made this sucker to drive itself.
All right.
Let's boogie. I got this, man.
Can you even reach the pedals?
Sit down and cool it.
Puppet, pick a lane.
Chill out, Dave. I'm a non-binary driver.
Let's get to work.
Wait up, Dave. I'm the star of this show.
And we're back with my patriotic plush pal, Puppet. Say that 3 or 4 times fast if you dare. Puppet!
What's up, Dave?
How's the plush world going today, my friend?
Dude, the plush world is good.
Yeah, plush
The
world's
foam
good.
and the fleece is pumping. Yeah, baby.
Puppet,
Yeah.
we're doing a special show tonight.
We are.
I'm calling it the 38 special.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
Yeah, because
38 minutes?
We're going to try to do it in 38 minutes. That's right.
That's awesome, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's tough for me, Dave.
Yeah,
Sometimes I can't shut up.
Well, we'll see what happens, but we're going to do the 38 special because in a little while I'm going to New York City.
New York, you know, they just had a bunch of stabbings over there.
Yeah,
Random stabbings over there.
Well, that's why I'm going, because I love stabbings.
Yeah, I figured. Hey, just watch out for any crazy people that don't say anything that wield kitchen knives and put 3 people in a hospital.
Yeah.
Dead.
I'm gonna avoid I'm gonna avoid the stabbings.
Okay.
And
Please do.
Yeah.
I can take it. You know, you can't.
I know. I don't have cotton for insides. But
That's right.
I'm going to avoid the stabbings. I'm going to try not to step in human feces.
Good.
I'm going to do my best to, just kind of stick to the straight and narrow.
Good.
Well lit Waffle Houses and whatnot. So
That's good. That's a good choice.
Yeah. I wonder if New York City has a Waffle House.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
I'm gonna find a Waffle House in New York. So yeah, going to New York. There is the crypto and cannabis something or other, some kind of an event up there.
2 of your favorite things, Dave.
I'm going.
That was a joke, folks.
Yes, this was a joke. I'm accompanying Mario Nawfal, where he's moderating an interview on stage with Grant Cardone. So that's gonna be really exciting. So we're going to go and attend that event. It should be a lot of fun, meet some interesting people, and then back here to, more work. But anyway, so tonight we're doing a 38 special to give me time to get to the airport so I can fly to New York City. Do you remember that, Puppet? What was it?
El Paso?
Was it I thought it was Pace Picante.
The Pace.
I thought it was Pace Picante.
Can't remember if it's El Paso or Pace.
Chat. I'm going to use, this is what,
could have been Pace.
This is what Queso says. Chat, is it Pace or Old El Paso? I thought it was Pace Picante.
It was either one of those.
Yeah,
like,
because
New York City.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, this salsa was made in New York City. New York City. Yeah. So
I remember that vividly.
What a good ad campaign.
Those
right?
are great. You know, that's when you know an ad campaign is good.
When you remember it decades later,
yes.
New York City.
Yes, it was just so perfect.
And I never even looked at the back of the assuming it's Pace Picante. Chad will tell us. Look at the back of the Pace Picante to find out if it was actually made not in New York City. I've been looking at labels a lot lately, though, Puppet. I know you try to, but somebody actually has to manipulate your hands to hold the bottles
That's
to
right.
look at the
It's hard.
labels.
It's hard.
But I've been looking at labels a lot lately because after I started paying attention to RFK Jr. and his Make America Healthy Again, Maha, I was like, holy crap. Guys, I don't
Look at
know
all
if
the
you,
crap.
oh my God.
I know. It's
I encourage
ridiculous.
everybody on our, no, actually, after the show, not during, so you're watching, go to your fridge and grab whatever looks healthy, like whatever is branded healthy. As a matter of fact, go to your pantry and find things that are branded healthy. Usually it's like called Be Too Good or So Fresh, So Fit, healthy for you. This is good for you brand. They have all these names that would suggest that the food is really, really good for you. But it's not. And if you look at the stuff that's in there, I was shocked that even the healthy food has all these different like gums and preservatives and all these things that are various different types of dyes, preservatives, artificial
Modified, hydrogenated,
modified, hydro, whatever it is,
seed oil.
right? All of it. And I'm looking at this going, oh my gosh. And then I started Googling each thing, polysorbate and this and that and mono, try this or that aride. And I started looking that up and I started seeing they're all side effects known to be like inflammatory, like gut inflammation, gastrointestinal distress. That's on the warning for the ingredient that's put in your food. Now, my question, Puppet, and I know I'm deviating from the topic of the show, but this is an important
That's
topic
okay. This is a good
nonetheless. It's a 38 special. Don't you think if they're going to put drugs in your food that have side effects, they should have to put on the packaging what the side effects of the dangerous additives in your food are? Doesn't that
Seems likely, yeah.
like if you have a Food and Drug Administration and their job is to regulate food and drugs, and then you have drugs in your food, don't you think they should tell you what drugs are in your food and what it does to you, potentially?
Absolutely. I just think they ought to just not put some of that stuff in the food, period.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you look at other countries and you look at the same products and those products don't have it in there. So why do they have it in there here?
They're banned in those countries.
They're either
banned.
The substances are banned, but the food, the Fruit Loops that you can, because this was a big topic with RFK, the Fruit Loops. The Fruit Loops, you can get them over there. It's not like you can't get them in Europe. You can, but they just don't have the same ingredients in them.
Right. But
so why do they have that in here?
But even McDonald's too, they have to use a different recipe.
Right.
In McDonald's over there because they're not.
They got banned ingredients in this shit here.
Right.
It's nuts.
For the longest time, I used to think, and this is, I started learning after COVID, but for the longest time, I used to think, oh, FDA, they're protecting us. We're not going to get sick from our food, right? And then I used to think, when I would travel in Europe and don't drink the water. Don't drink the water anywhere outside the United States. I had this assumption that the water must be great in the United States. The food must be the best here. We're the biggest superpower in the world. We must have the best stuff. I never even thought about it. And then RFK comes along and is like, hey, your food's poison. And I'm like, what? And then I started going, wait a second. And I said, if I don't trust the CDC, I don't trust the FBI, certainly don't trust the IRS, and all these other agencies that I've learned to say, wait a second, maybe they don't have our best interest at the heart of their
once
mission.
you saw that the National Institute for Health was pushing an untested vaccine with and claiming no side effects and claiming the no need for side effects listing or anything listed, any warnings at all, saying it's good for everyone, pregnant people, children, everybody.
Right.
And you know that they're connected to Big Pharma, you start to go, wait a minute, this is a captured agency. And if this is a captured agency, then what else is a captured agency? And if a captured agency would do this, would they make up a fake food pyramid? Would they allow chemicals in our food that shouldn't be there and aren't allowed in other countries? Because it's better for the big corporations that are paying them off? Sure, of course. You have to make those assumptions and connections. Why would you not?
And you know, I was researching this the other day, and it turns out like obesity has skyrocketed since the late 60s, early 70s. Before that, you know, regular, you know, pretty low obesity rates. But since then, obesity has skyrocketed. And I guess sometime in the 90s, they're like, well, since people are getting fat, let's create this food pyramid, and that'll make people less fat, and people just get fatter. And so along
because
that
you
note,
put grains on the bottom of it.
well, grains and then all the garbage that they put in
Right.
the food. I mean,
Well,
that's,
that
it's not
too.
real food. It's not real
But
food.
I mean, but we're talking like, okay, so they allow manufacturers to put crap in the food that they shouldn't allow, right?
Right.
That are dangerous and make you fat and unhealthy.
Right.
But the food pyramid is expressly designed
To keep you fat.
to tell you what you should eat, right? This is the health organization is putting this out.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is propaganda connected to big corporate interests. Because otherwise you wouldn't have that food pyramid. Because the food pyramid for us is the same setup that makes cows fatter for slaughter. So, and pigs fatter for slaughter. So that makes a lot of sense.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And then it's almost, gosh, I can't wait for RFK Jr. to get to the bottom of this.
I know.
Because then I think it's even worse. And the part I'm talking about is when they market food that says it's healthy and gives you the percent. It's almost like dangerous with false advertising, because now you're like, oh, my doctor says I need to eat less sugar. And so you get something that says organic, healthy, and then you look in there and it's sugar.
Well, the biggest joke about this, and you should have known from then, but you know, back in the late 80s, 90s, the whole fat-free craze. Remember the whole fat-free craze?
Yeah. They still have the fat-free craze.
Yeah, I know, but it was way worse
Yeah.
than the fat-free. Like, it was like they were putting fat-free on everything, taking the fat out, adding more carbs and sugar, and then calling it fat-free.
Yeah.
And then, oh, well, these cookies are healthy. They're fat-free.
Yeah, I can eat 100 of them.
I
Why
mean,
do I have
100
diabetes all of a sudden?
But yeah, and that's like, oh, well, wait, you know, sugar and carbs convert to fat.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah.
actually worse than fat.
Yeah.
Sugar and carbs that convert to fat is actually worse than real fat.
Yeah, well, and then you have the whole calorie misnomer. Like everyone thinks, oh, I just have to eat low calorie, and then it's what you're eating in place of the low calorie. We have, and I think it's
Let's have some
intentional.
plastic in case in
Right.
in
Low
replacing
calorie
some
plastic.
calories.
Don't worry about it. There's no calories in this
There's
plastic.
no
Eat all you want. It's good for you. Low carb, low calorie, low fat. It's good. It's good,
Cyanide.
healthy.
Low fat cyanide.
Yeah, low fat cyanide. And the thing is, like,
very healthy.
I think they're intentionally misleading people. Like,
Yes.
rather than teach them how your body metabolizes food. I mean, fruit juice, perfect example.
Fruit juice.
You can eat a piece of fruit. Oh my God, I'm getting so off topic, but that's okay. It's our show.
Yes.
You can eat a piece of fruit like an orange or a banana or whatever, and there's fiber, and the fiber binds with the sugar. So you eat an orange, and yes, it's sweet and fine, it's good. But then people are like, oh, I'll make orange juice. Orange juice is healthy because it's an orange. But then you do is you beat the crap out of the fiber, and then it's no longer bound to the fiber. Now it's just sugar in your blood, which causes an insulin spike, which is why we have diabetes. And nobody knows any of this unless you're a nerd and you want to research it. Everybody just, because they're lazy. And I don't blame them. They're busy. They work a lot. We work way too much in the United States because we have to, because everything costs so damn much money. And you look at and people don't have the time to really get to the bottom of whether or not something's healthy. They're told it's healthy. Same thing with healthcare. You're told that this vaccine is good for you. Most people don't have the time, and they think everything else that you get, information that you get, must be conspiracy. So, I'm going to ignore
Well,
the
yeah. Well, they
conspiracy.
do that too on purpose. That's what the other part of it. They go after. There are a group of people out there, with newsletters and writing stuff and that are about. Wait a minute, this stuff isn't good for you. Wait a minute, this sugar like this isn't healthy. You get rid of the fiber. It's no longer healthy. It's straight sugar right to the bloodstream.
Right,
This
might
is
as well
bad.
eat a
This makes you
spoonful of
fat.
sugar.
And what do? They attack those people. They
Right.
call them, just conspiracy theorists. They put lawfare on them. They try to put them out of business.
They shut them off their social media.
They shut them off their social media.
You talk about
they have
vaccine
been
injuries,
doing,
and all of a sudden you're a vax denier.
They have been doing. This is what they do to the Robert Kennedy right now. Every single time they mention his name, they lead with anti-vaxxer or vax denier, COVID denier, Robert Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy. They don't say Robert F. Kennedy. They say COVID denier, vax denier, Robert F. Kennedy. Every single time the media talks about him. Why are they doing that? That's propaganda, folks.
Well, and what's so crazy about it is, and this is relative to politics too, because most people don't want to actually do the work to figure out. I do the work. I'm going to talk about Am I Racist in a second because it's the best movie ever. Because they say do the work all the time, and now it's stuck in my head, and I got to get it out of my head because that's like a anti-racist word. Do the work. Anyway, I can't get on a tangent at this point, Puppet. So let me stay somewhat on topic.
Dave.
But most people don't want to hear what the news says and go, let me see if this is true or not. Let me research it. Right. Let me see if Trump really said these things about soldiers and or racists being very fine people, or I like soldiers that don't get caught. Let me just accept true whatever the media tells me, not actually do the research to find out that those things are either taken out of context or completely false. Nah, I'm just going to accept it. I think your people are starting to wake up overall, and to tie this together, I think people are starting to wake up overall to the fact that maybe the three-letter agencies are lying to us. Not just us, because we're dorks, right? We scrutinize things. We're conspiracy theorists, white supremacists, Nazis, right? We're trash. Of course,
all of that.
Trash human beings. And trash human beings look up things, right? And then they tell other people, and then that makes people angry because they don't want to hear it. So other than us trash human beings, people are starting to realize that, holy crap, the three-letter agencies are lying to me. Holy crap. The FDA is lying to me. Holy crap, the news is lying to me. Holy crap, everybody is lying to me. Wait a minute, then what's the truth? And now they go to places like X, which is it's the number one news site in the world now, by the way, Puppet. They go to X, hopefully where you're watching this right now, or YouTube or Rumble, but they go to X to get what they think is the truth. And you know what? It's probably closer to the truth here on X than anywhere else that they're getting news from, because it's a free speech platform. There's some things on here I absolutely hate, but you know what? It's free speech.
Well, and Dave, even if they're not getting quote, you don't go there to find the truth. What you go there to find is all of the opinions, so that you can find your own truth.
Yeah.
Right. You're not going there to have one opinion. That's what X gives you. You go to CNN, all you get is left fabrication.
Right.
You go to X, you get left, right, center. You get all kinds of perspectives, and you get links to all kinds of content and articles. And you can read studies and articles and listen to what people are saying. And you can watch the real videos, not clips. And in CNN's case, they never even show what Trump says. They never even show the clip that there's a clip of it. Like, you could play what he actually said. No, they don't play what he actually said. They just tell you what he said, which isn't what he actually said. And you can go to X and watch the actual video and actually make your own determination on what he actually said.
Crazy, right?
Right.
TikTok was really good about that also. I mean, TikTok, it's somewhat, they don't let you say certain things. You get warnings, but you can still find things on TikTok, which is one of the reasons why they hate it, because China controls it, and they don't. But we have a revolution of information, and I think people are getting a lot more aware that they're going to have to do the research on their own. A friend of mine, and I've told this story before, probably on this show, but a friend of mine, we were sitting on Spaceship Earth once. And, Spaceship Earth is that ride at Disney or Epcot in that big globe. It looks like a golf ball for those people who are not familiar with the ride. But, it takes you through the age of communication, right? And you're riding on this ride, and it gets kind of boring at one point. You spin around backwards, and you kind of float through space.
I mean, it's largely a boring ride, but...
Yeah, but it's relaxing, and it's air-conditioned.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm riding this ride with my friend. I can say his name, Jeff. You don't know his last name. I'm riding with my friend, Jeff, and you should be watching the show, Jeff. If not, I'm going to send this to you, and then you're going to watch it. We're sitting on the ride, and we were like, because we were talking about communication, because we're dorks, and I said, hey, remember when before the internet, we used to just be able to lie to each other, and you wouldn't know. You just have to take it upon yourself to decide if the person talking to you is telling you the truth or not. My my dad has 7 Ferraris. And you'd be like, oh, okay, well, maybe that's true. You just have to kind of take it upon yourself to figure out. There was no Google. You're not going to go to the library and pull out the Encyclopedia Britannica to find out if Timmy's dad has 7 Ferraris. There was no way to find out what was true. You just have to trust people, right? Whether or not they seem trustworthy.
Right. You had to make a determination of whether the person seemed trustworthy or had an agenda or not.
Right. And then the internet happened. And Google happened. And I wish I would have bought stock early. But Google happened. And people were able to start looking things up at dial-up speed nonetheless, but still looking things up. Now, over time, that evolved. But there used to be
and now you can go to the Facebook page and see if he's got 7 Ferraris.
Right. But the other thing is, but then, then you'd be able to at least fact check and be like, oh, Google says this isn't true, or Google says this is true. And then you were armed with whether or not something's true or not true. Well, then comes the age of, holy crap, Google just shows you whatever it wants you to believe and doesn't actually give you all the information. So if you want to know if Timmy's lying or not, it depends if Timmy's dad is a Republican or a Democrat, because you may not get the truth from Google if it doesn't want you to know the information. And then Jeff says to me, he goes, yeah, isn't that funny? Now we're back to the point where the internet's lying to you. So now you just have to go and use your judgment about whether or not somebody's telling you the truth. So we've gone full circle from I don't know if Timmy's telling me the truth or not. I'm just going to have to trust him or not trust him, to I'm going to research it, to all the research is fake. Now I'm just going to have to trust you. And this is where we've come. And you don't know if the information you're getting is valid or not. So you really just have to trust people. And it all comes down to trust, right?
Gut. It really comes down to gut.
Well, gut too. Yes, your gut, but your gut decides whether you're not going to trust somebody.
Right.
And what I'm most optimistic about, and I'll land the plane on this point here, we trusted these 3-letter agencies for a really long time, and they broke our trust. Timmy told us he had 7 Ferraris, dad had 7 Ferraris. We believed him because Timmy seemed trustworthy. Then we went to Timmy's house, and Timmy didn't have 7 Ferraris. Timmy didn't even have 1 Ferrari. Timmy didn't even have a car, right?
He had 7 Matchbox cars.
Exactly. If that. Timmy was a liar.
3.
And then we said, Timmy seems like a nice enough guy, but I'm not going to listen to him anymore. He certainly doesn't tell the truth. And that's sort of where we're at with these 3-letter agencies. They've lied to us. The Google won't tell us the truth. We're just going to have to take it upon ourselves to determine. Well, I don't even know how I got on this tangent, Puppet, but whether or not we believe any of these things. So I'm hopeful with RFK coming in, he's going to clean this up. But let's segue to something actually relevant, right?
This is relevant. This is important.
Well, Trump's picks, because that's what I wanted to talk about today, Trump's picks. And this is why RFK Jr. is such an important pick, because he's actually going to go and make America healthy again. He said, we're going to fire whoever we have to fire to make people healthy again. Great pick. But the picks don't stop with RFK Jr. So, and I want to go through some of these picks, some of the more controversial ones, some of the more obvious ones, and we'll talk about each one of these before we take our break. And when we come back from the break, obviously, we're going to talk about Russia. But I want to talk about a few of these. Russia. I want to talk about a few. I think we might blow our 38 special, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Let's talk about a few of these, and I want to get your take, Puppet. First and foremost, let's go with maybe a little less controversial one. Marco Rubio for Secretary of State. And I think,
wasn't my pick, but I can see why they picked him.
Yeah. I think we were talking. This broke on our show last week.
Yes, I think it did.
Yeah, Marco Rubio. I think he's going to do okay. He was vice chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee. He understands foreign affairs very well. He's run for president. He's Cuban who speaks Spanish.
Yes.
And when we have to do a lot of work with people it's south of our border with immigration and drugs and gangs and cartels, I think it's probably pretty good that somebody who speaks Spanish is going to be in that role. I'm concerned about the hawkish positions. I'm not a warmonger, and I don't like warmongers, and I'm going to play an audio clip later where he talks about how Republicans are celebrating Ukraine getting us into a nuclear war, which really sucks. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so that's Marco Rubio. One of the more controversial ones, until another one was announced, Pete Hegseth. Now, you guys might know him from Fox on Sunday. Pete Hegseth, he's a Fox News host on the weekend. He's a a current Army National Guard officer. I think he might be in reserves. I don't know if he's retired or not. Anyway, he served in Iraq, and Afghanistan. He has 2 Bronze Stars. He's had organizations on veteran affairs issues. And I think he's going to be a fantastic Secretary of Defense. What say you, Puppet?
Absolutely. And I think he was a graduate of both like Harvard and Princeton.
Yeah, Princeton. Like,
yeah.
And the left is like, oh my God, you can't have a Fox News host.
Right. Like you just some ding dong Fox News host like me. No.
Yeah. No.
He's not a puppet. That's why they hate him. Again, this is why they hate a lot of these picks, because he's not a puppet. He's a patriot, not a puppet.
Yeah.
And they don't like him. He's just as qualified as many other people who have been put in the position. And if you look at the wackos in this job right now and in the past, Pete, no difference. So this is a patriot. This is a guy who has served his country. This is a guy who's loyal to his country. This is a guy who loves his country. This is a guy who has served in the military, is a smart person. He makes a living talking and analyzing politics.
Yeah.
I think he's a perfect choice. Like,
I agree.
At least you got to give him a shot. And the thing with Trump, unlike a lot of these people, politicians and presidents in the past, Trump is not afraid to fire someone. We saw that in his last term. Trump fired a lot of people, and he got shit for firing people. Like, he fires a lot of people. Yeah, because he fires people that aren't getting the job done. Like, that's what you do. You fire people when it's not working.
He wants accountability. God forbid you have accountability in the government.
You get rid of departments when they're not working, when they're not needed. You get rid of people when they're not working, they're not needed. You fire people. You get rid of people. You change things. You don't keep everything the same.
Right.
That's what we've been doing forever, and that's why we're in the mess we're in. That's why we're trillions of dollars in debt. That's why we got just slop everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and if that was a controversial, I agree with you. If that wasn't a controversial pick, then they announced something that shocked me. Mouth drop, speechless shock. And you know who I'm going to say. Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. Puppet.
Wow, that was a big one.
I want to get your take, and I'll give you mine.
Well, I think it's a good appointment. I think it's an interesting appointment. The left is losing their total minds. I love it in this for the sheer fact that Gaetz has proven he is not afraid to go directly after the FBI and these three-letter agencies, these Department of these justice agencies, quote unquote, and really hold them to the task and really make sure that they're doing the thing they should be doing and not actually going against the American people.
Yeah.
So I love him for that. I really love him for that. So from my perspective on that deal, it's a great pick. I don't know his actual how to qualify a person in this field and like what his qualifications are. So I can't speak, super intelligently on it. But from that perspective, from his talking points and what I've seen him actually do on the floor, I like it.
No, I agree. I think he's a fighter. I think he has conviction. I think he's a true conservative. He's a MAGA conservative. And the way our Justice Department has been weaponized, and like you saw in Ohio, these crisis actors that dress like Nazis, and we don't know if they're FBI or what. All
I want to know though.
That
I want him in there so we can know.
That is the point. We are finally going to get to the bottom of the lawfare, get to the bottom of the
I want to know what's going on with the DNC pipe bomb.
Right. We're going to find out about all of it. We'll find out about the fraud in the 2020 election because, of course, still, by the way, and here's a little interesting factoid. Obama had like 69 million votes, 68 million votes in 2008. It was the most votes before Biden, of course, of any Democrat, actually any president. He has some of the, I think he's like the number 3 most followed person on X, 130 million followers or something like that. Interestingly, Joe Biden got 81 million votes in 2020. 81 million.
Swamped him.
You know how many Twitter followers he has? Being the most popular Democrat president in U.S. history. Do you know how many Twitter followers he has? Or X followers, I should say.
No.
Guess.
I don't know. I follow him, though. I think,
30.
I always troll his account.
30 million. 30 million. He has 150 million more than 150 million less followers. But he's the most popular president ever. And remember, in 2008, I mean, that's still, Twitter wasn't that big of a platform. And it certainly a lot more users with handheld devices use.
And Dems, way more Dems.
Right, with way more Dems. Biden has 30 million X followers, the most popular president. And by the way, we still have to figure out how Kamala got what? I think she got what, 70? What did she get? 69 million votes or something this election? More than Biden. Or I'm sorry, more than Obama did. She's the number 2 highest vote getter of Democrats.
No way in heck.
And Trump got almost 75 million.
And
right?
but the thing is when you look at after the big Biden, even though she got more than Obama, the numbers still went down dramatically.
Well, that's
because
my point.
Those are fake numbers.
Yes, Trump got more votes in 2024 than he did in 2020, and more votes in 2020 he did in 2016. That tracks, right? Kamala got almost as many, or a little bit more votes than 2008 Barack Obama, but about 15 million votes less than, or maybe like 11 million votes less than Joe Biden. Think about that. Trump got almost the same amount. Where did those 10, 12 million voters go? They just disappeared? Did they all vote for Jill Stein? No. That's an interesting thing, and that's why I'm excited about Matt Gaetz. I think maybe we'll get to the bottom of it because they're still counting votes, by the way.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Arizona,
did you just
and
see
in
this
Georgia and
California
yeah.
House seat race where the Republican was winning the entire time?
Yeah.
And then it was like, last minute, like, whoop,
Oh, yeah, look, we found some votes.
30 votes more, the Democrats going to win.
Yeah,
like,
we have.
come
look,
on.
We found them. So we need Matt Gaetz to get to the bottom of it. Now, of course, the rhinos are suggesting they're not going to confirm him. We'll see. Trump said he'll do recess appointments. Now, Mitch McConnell, the mindless turtle, said, "Oh, we're not going to have any recess appointments." Everybody's going to think the video paused.
He's just fine. He's
Yeah.
just fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine.
We're just doing Mitch McConnell. That's all.
Just, he's fine. He's fine. That's normal. It's normal. People do that all the
Good
time.
Lord. All right, let's round off some of these other picks that are not as controversial. Doug Burgum.
Reboot.
Doug Burgum, who he said some terrible things about Donald Trump, but whatever, he's come around. He's going to be Secretary of the Interior. I still think that's a solid pick. Chris Wright, Secretary of Energy. You have Kristi Noem, Secretary of Homeland Security. Certainly, I think that's a fantastic pick. Doug Collins, a good conservative, Secretary of Veterans Affairs. He'll clean that place up very quickly. You have John Ratcliffe for CIA Director, Lee Zeldin, EPA Administrator, Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, which I love, by the way. They put her on a terrorist watch list, and now she's running the damn thing.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
They're shitting over that one, too.
Yeah, I love that. I think they called her a Russian asset. I think Debbie
She's a Russian asset.
They need to start suing these morons. Then you have Elise Stefanik, Ambassador to the United Nations, and my favorite, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, heads of the Department of Government Efficiency. I love it. I love it. I love it. More picks coming. I'm watching very closely for Kash Patel. For FBI director and a few others. So, I forgot to even mention Susie Wiles, first woman ever to be selected as White House Chief of Staff, fantastic campaign manager for Donald Trump. She's going to be Chief of Staff. And then Carolyn,
Carolyn Levitt.
Levitt is now the press secretary, youngest press secretary, is 27 in history. Guys, I'm telling you, this is what winning feels like. We're winning, winning, winning. Let's do this, Puppet. I got to take a break.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we are going to talk about Russia. What do you say?
All right.
You want to talk about
Let's
Russia?
do it.
All right, let's go. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. David Pollack Show will be back right after this.
I'm Scotty Cahill, and I'm the founding partner at FinSec Life. FinSec Life is an independent agency that works with a multitude of carriers that brings the best pricing to each client we serve. With our 40 plus years of experience in the industry, allows us to deliver unique results to each individual client. We do not get paid until your policy is placed, until you have your insurance. So we will do the work. We will ensure that everything is taken care of, whether you get the best pricing, whether you get treated fairly by the underwriting team. If you have an existing policy and you want to know whether the policy is performing as it should, or if you have additional needs for insurance, please contact us at 321-800-3901, and we'll be happy to quote you on a new insurance. The phone number again is 321-800-3901, and the website is finseclife.com. financialsecurityforlife.com. Financialsecurityforlife.com.
In today's fast-paced world, effective communication is the backbone of successful businesses. Are outdated systems and high costs slowing you down? Switch to Public Telephone Company for cutting-edge voice-over IP solutions. Enjoy seamless connectivity, unparalleled reliability, and significant cost savings. Tailor-made voice-over IP solutions designed for your business needs. Join countless businesses in transforming your communication with Public Telephone Company. Public Telephone Company. Revolutionize the way you connect.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
Gotta get your My Pillow, guys. Don't forget our plush pal Puppet. His head is filled with a My Pillow. That patented fill keeps him patriotic and sleeping well. Use promo code
and puffy.
Pollock. What's that? Puffy?
Keeps me patriotic and puffy.
Patriotic and puffy. So go check out My Pillow, guys. Don't forget, we're also powered by We the Studios. And if you want to go and see this show's free, but if you want to see this show or some of the other great content on the website, go over to wethestudios.com and use promo code Pollock and save yourself some money there on a subscription.
Oh, yeah. They got non-woke entertainment. The
Yeah.
shows are amazing.
Yeah.
And some of their real superstar, what do they call icons? Sorry, icons are on the panel Monday nights
Blake
with us.
Reynolds,
So.
Conservative Ant, Tito Ortiz, Patriot Barbie, and so many others over there at wethestudios.com. You can catch all of our episodes there too if you missed it and you're like, I want to watch it. And then you go stream happy on a non-woke streaming platform. So go check out wethestudios.com. Promo code Pollock. Puppet.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Russia. Check it out.
Major change of U.S. policy and a reversal of his prior position. President Biden is now allowing Ukraine to use a powerful U.S. missile system inside of Russia for the first time. In April, the U.S. sent the Army tactical missile system to Ukraine after Russian forces crossed the border. Well, since August, Ukrainian leaders have been asking for permission to use the supersonic missile system. In September, Russian President Vladimir Putin called it a red line. But now President Biden is giving Ukraine the green light. News Nation's Alina Shirazi live for us at the White House tonight with how these missiles work and reaction from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky tonight. Alina.
Natasha, good evening. We know that for the first time, President Biden, as you mentioned, did give Ukraine the green light to use American-made long-range missile systems to strike targets inside of Russia. We know this is certainly a bold move for President Biden and could further complicate Russia's war with Ukraine, with the president-elect Trump set to take office in just 64 days from today. We did hear President Biden speak today from Brazil, but he did not address his authorization and use of U.S. missiles by Ukraine in Russia. We know the announcement comes one day after Biden met with the Chinese president at the APEC summit in Peru. President Biden notably ignored a question from the media about how the two nations would address North Korea, including reported troops on the front lines with Russia. But back to the long-range U.S. missile system that Biden approved. We know it's called the Army Tactile Missile System, or ATAC EMS. The U.S. Army says the weapons have a range of up to 190 miles. They are surface-to-surface missiles, meaning they're shot from the ground and can hit GPS-located targets with pinpoint accuracy. We know lawmakers on Capitol Hill are already weighing in. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Mike Turner, a Republican, he praised the move by Biden, posting in part, quote, Ukraine can't properly defend itself if one hand is tied behind its back. Today's news that the Biden administration is finally allowing Ukraine to use some U.S.-provided attack EMS to strike limited targets within Russian territory is long overdue.
I got to tell you, Dave, this is absolutely expletive deleted here. Insanity.
Beep.
Absolutely insanity. This comatose vegetable retard. Sorry. Okay, he's not. No. Brain dead president.
Oh.
Shell puppet.
I think you should have just cursed. It would have.
I know,
probably
would have been better.
Yeah. But just keep
puppet. Okay, let's just let me scratch all that. Restart. President, the puppet Biden, is approving long range. What is this like? Oh, Trump's going to come in and end this war. So before he does come in and end this war, let's like get deeper and let's use as much military equipment as we can so we can run up the bill. What is this?
Insane. It's insane. And of course, Putin is like, I'll nuke you. I don't care. And Kim Jong-un is like, yeah, let's nuke people. And I'm concerned because Republicans are clapping. You know, not MAGA Republicans, by the way. None of us want this. But these establishment rhino, whatever you want to call them in Washington, D.C., actual I'll call them real Republicans because they're not rhinos. That's what Republicans are. These
Deep
are the
state Republicans. Let's just call them
these are the
deep state
Republicans we rejected when we supported Donald Trump.
That's right. Take video and let's get these guys mugshots because these people, we need to post up posters of these people and get them out of politics.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the thing. They're celebrating then they want to send another $8 billion or $80 billion. I forget what it is.
Before Trump gets in too.
Unbelievable. The good news is, and I am concerned about an escalation.
But what is the good news? Because I need some good news on this. Because there's no good news here.
Here's Trump's reaction to this. Check it out.
Closer to World War III than we are today under Joe Biden. A global conflict between nuclear-armed powers would mean death and destruction on a scale unmatched in human history. It would be nuclear Armageddon. Nothing is more important than avoiding that nightmare. We will avoid it, but we need new leadership. Every day this proxy battle in Ukraine continues, we risk global war. We must be absolutely clear that our objective is to immediately have a total cessation of hostilities. All shooting has to stop. This is the central issue. We need peace without delay. In addition, there must also be a complete commitment to dismantling the entire globalist neocon establishment that is perpetually dragging us into endless wars, pretending to fight for freedom and democracy abroad, while they turn us into a third world country and a third world dictatorship right here at home. The State Department, the defense bureaucracy, the intelligence services, and all of the rest need to be completely overhauled and reconstituted to fire the deep staters and put America first. We have to put America first. Finally, we have to finish the process we began under my administration of fundamentally reevaluating NATO's purpose and NATO's mission. Our foreign policy establishment keeps trying to pull the world into conflict with a nuclear-armed Russia based on the lie that Russia represents our greatest threat. But the greatest threat to Western civilization today is not Russia. It's probably, more than anything else, ourselves and some of the horrible USA hating people that represent us.
That's the good news. The good
That's
news
called
is
liberalism.
that's our president. That is the person who's going to take office in less than 2 months.
Was that in response to this, or that was prior to this?
No, that was in response to this. So
that makes me happy.
Right. That is the good news. Puppet, the good
he can't
news
do anything
is that's our
about
president.
it yet.
No, he's gonna pick up the phone. He'll say, "Chill, Putin, chill," and he's gonna take down escalations because he's gonna be in charge soon. So I think that encourages me. Puppet.
I don't know if this is this seems to me unprecedented. You have a president who's leaving office. You have a new president coming in. That president has a significantly different agenda. He has publicly said that he is going to discuss peace with these feuding parties, and we have not authorized the use of these weapons, which we should have never given them, being that we're not involved, quote unquote. And right as this transition has been agreed upon by a constitutional vote of the people mandate, they decide, oh yeah, now you can use the weapons. Now you can use those missiles.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, if we're not at war, if we're not in the war, then why are they using our missile systems to shoot at them? That's just crazy stuff.
No,
This
I
is just
agree with
crazy.
It's you know what though, Puppet?
I'm just a puppet, but what do I?
No, you're a better puppet than they are. They know what they're up to, and you know what? Doesn't matter. Trump's going to be in that White House soon. All of this will go away. This is why people elected him, because of garbage like this. The whole world is nervous right now, but you know what? Cooler heads will prevail. I'm confident about it. If not, let's just pay close attention to this. Puppet. We were going to do a 38 special. I think we blew that, but
what is it? We're going to do the whatever it is special.
Yeah, now we just did a regular show, so.
Yeah, I liked it.
It was a
Felt
really
good,
show.
Dave. Felt good, Dave.
It did feel good. It was a nice conversation with a puppet. I mean, I'm talking puppets. This is where we are.
This is where you've ended up, Dave.
This is where my career has gone. I'm sitting here talking to a puppet.
That's what happens when you want have to leave the show to go do somebody else's work.
What are you talking about? I'm doing my work. I'm doing the Lord's work. So I'm
the Lord's work. Yeah.
I'm gonna go to New York City. And
where they obviously don't have pace picante.
I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna go find some pace picante in New York City.
They have pace picante.
Probably at Sbarro's or something. But anyway, Puppet, thank you for your patriotic puppetry this evening.
Thank you.
And
you're welcome, Dave.
It was a lot of fun.
I always love being with you.
I don't have a video to end the show on.
Oh, dang it, Dave.
I know. I guess we'll just end it with us smiling at the camera. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week.
We'll do the Mitch McConnell. Let's end it with Mitch McConnell.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week, 8 o'clock, as always. And thank you guys so much for being here. And we will see you next week. Puppet, you always say something, don't you?
Yeah. And remember, folks, the fleece stops here.
Good night, everybody.